A jail worker and an inmate are both facing charges after police say they had a sexual relationship.
Looking for answers in an unusual investigation, how a meeting could help figure out if an oily substance that landed around some homes in Powell County is dangerous.
How some artists in Lexington used a unique creation to show their appreciation for what Lexington police do for the community.
This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening. A worker at a Central Kentucky jail finds herself on the wrong side of the law tonight. Investigators say she admitted having sex with an inmate.
Daphne Kelly is a pretrial officer who has an office at the Clark County Detention Center, and investigators say the inmate she's accused of having sex with will be facing charges in this case as well. Victor Puente has our top story at 6.
Both that pretrial services officer and the inmate she's accused of having sex with are facing charges. Police say she told them that relationship had been going on for a while. The investigation started after the Clark County Detention Center notified Winchester police of a possible sexual relationship between 28-year-old Daphne Marie Kelly and an inmate. Police say that investigation led to her arrest.
She had admitted that there had been a sexual relationship between the two.
Police say it happened while the inmate, 41-year-old James Bussell, was on work release. They say the two would meet at a friend's house on Ashland Avenue. He's now facing charges of escape and promoting contraband.
Where he left the work crew that he was on when he was on work release, as well as promoting contraband, because he was in possession of a cell phone that he and Ms. Kelly communicated on.
Kelly is at the Woodford County Jail. In her position as a pretrial officer, she had authority over Bussell, which led to the third-degree rape charge. Hall says the relationship had been going on for months.
She claimed that she had known him prior to his incarceration and that they struck the relationship back up once he was incarcerated here.
I talked to a spokesperson with the administrative offices of the court in Frankfort. They told me that Kelly had resigned from her position effective today. In Clark County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Police say the investigation could lead to more charges if they find that Kelly gave Bussell that cell phone.
Our day began with dry weather, and tonight some showers and storms are popping up, though, across parts of the state. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look at that pattern that we are just stuck in.
Yeah, familiar, isn't it? And it's a pattern that continues to spit out at least a couple of isolated showers and storms that are putting down a lot of water, but over small areas of real estate. Here's what we're tracking on your Defender Radar Network. And the broad view, it's not a whole lot that is out there until we get up close and personal. Then we start to see that these are very slow-moving showers. Parts of southwestern Lexington picked up greater than a half-inch earlier. Still some light rains between Versailles and Mortonsville, just to the south of the BG Parkway into Woodford County. Sky in Lexington is beginning to brighten just a little bit as that shower begins to pull away, though it's knocked the temperatures way down. How about Richmond down to Berea? A couple of pockets of rain. Heavier bursts of rain has developed here into eastern Estill County. That extends toward the southeast through Beattyville into Boonville and right on now toward parts of the Hal Rogers Parkway, northeastern sections of Clay County with some heavy downpours. Those showers that are out there, they're small, but they can drop a quick half to 1 inch of rain. Thunderstorms western Kentucky are decreasing now, but that area of low pressure that is across the Paducah area is going to roll its way toward the east as we go into the day on Thursday. And coming up in about 10 minutes, I'll show you why that small little system has the potential to bring some bigger rains back into central and eastern Kentucky.
Chris, thank you. And we have an update tonight on some roads damaged by flash flooding last week in Madison County. Madison County Emergency Management says that Crutcher Pike has reopened, but the road is still a little rough. High water washed away some of the pavement last Friday. Emergency managers say the Maple Grove Road Bridge near Tates Creek Road is still closed tonight. They're waiting for an inspector to check it out.
New tonight, an inmate investigators say walked away from a Lexington prison more than a year ago is back in custody. The Kentucky Department of Corrections say police in Marion County, Florida arrested James Dennis on Saturday. Investigators say he walked away from Blackburn Correctional Complex in April of 2015. He was serving a 13-year prison sentence for multiple convictions, including making meth out of Union County.
A man accused of killing a northern Kentucky couple says he's not guilty. This afternoon, Craig Pennington answered to multiple charges in Washington County, including murder, robbery, and evidence tampering. Police say that Pennington killed Robert Jones and Crystal Warner last month. Police have not found their bodies, but say they were last seen alive in Washington County. Hillary Thornton has the latest on this case.
It has been about a month now since Robert Jones and Crystal Warner were last seen alive. Today, the man accused of killing them, Craig Pennington, back in front of a judge today, entering a not guilty plea on a lengthy list of charges from a grand jury indictment last month. Pennington is facing 11 different charges, including 2 counts of capital murder. Loved ones of the victims inside the courtroom today. Robert Jones and Crystal Warner last seen July 3rd. Family members say they were checking on a Washington County property Pennington rented from them because they were having some issues with him. That was the last place they were seen or heard from. Later that week, police finding the couple's vehicle abandoned off of Interstate 75 in Georgetown. Hours after that, arresting Pennington, charging him with their murders. Now, while bodies of the couple have still not been found, family members say investigators told them a witness watched Pennington shoot and kill the couple. Today, a judge asking Pennington's attorney about setting a trial date for the case. His attorney saying they're not quite ready to do that, but did say they would need at least 9 months to prepare their defense. Meanwhile, the couple's friends and family refusing to give up searching until they are found. And while family members of the victims were in the courtroom today, they did not wish to talk on camera. In Washington County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
And Pennington's next court date is scheduled for the end of September. It will be a little longer before we find out if a man accused of killing a Woodford County boy is competent to stand trial. A hearing was scheduled for Ronald Exantis this morning to see if he is competent, but the judge delayed it until September 27th because of a scheduling conflict. Last December, police say Exantis broke into a home in Versailles and stabbed 6-year-old Logan Tipton to death. His attorney claims Exantis had a psychotic break after being arrested. It's caused concern among people in a Powell County neighborhood, and even county leaders. They want to know if an oily substance that landed on some homes there is dangerous.
Investigators say the substance spewed from a natural gas substation after it was hit by lightning Monday afternoon. Tonight, county leaders and people in the community have gathered for a meeting about the situation. Monique Blair has the latest.
More than 50 people are inside this meeting right now from the community, along with the Powell County Judge Executive, a state representative, and also several representatives from Kinder Morgan, which is the company that owns the Tennessee Gas Transmission Station out here in Clay City. Powell County Judge Executive James Anderson says he called this public forum to address the community's concern regarding an oily substance that spewed onto several properties Monday afternoon after the gas pipeline was struck by lightning. A Kinder Morgan representative opened the meeting saying she wants everyone to leave here knowing the facts and feeling comfortable with the events that transpired. There will also be a time for public comment, and after those comments, Kinder Morgan representatives say they will address any and all questions and concerns those here in the community have.
I hope to get answers as to what has sprayed all over our property, and if it's harmful, what's in it. I want to know what it's going to do. I want to know the effects of now, and I want to know the effects of later.
Now, although several people have signed up to speak publicly at this meeting, the meeting is expected to come to an end at 6:30. Reporting in Clay City, Monique Blair, WKYT.
People who live in the neighborhood say Kinder Morgan offered to pay for the cost of them leaving their homes for the time being if they wish to do so.
New tonight, we now know when the Kentucky Supreme Court will consider a lawsuit Attorney General Andy Beshear filed against Governor Matt Bevin. This lawsuit deals with the governor's decision to cut state funding to public colleges and universities without approval from the state legislature. The Supreme Court will hear oral arguments in the case on August 18th. A Franklin County judge had ruled that the governor could make the budget cuts.
Showing unity through art, Latitude Arts in Lexington gives people with disabilities a creative outlet, and many of the artists recently showed their appreciation for Lexington police by coming up with a unique work of art. Caitlin Sentner has the story, new at 6.
Betty over here, she's an artist.
Kenny Taylor acting modest because he's an artist too.
Painted by hand.
He's been doing artwork for 15 years, but recently one of his buddies had an idea.
I like to fall and bubble
Those colors he's describing are in today's drawing, but there are also colors in the logo for his favorite band, a band some Lexington police happen to enjoy too. Now, officers weren't at the latitude just to talk music. The artist made them something that's one of a kind.
One person drew the badge, one person drew the whistle, one person drew the police dog, which I thought was a poodle, but it's a German Shepherd.
The idea stemmed from recent shootings. One of the artists was bothered by the violence.
A big thank you for all of your bravery and heroism. A billion times thank you for all the obstacles you encounter. Those words are part of a letter written by the artist they gave to police when they gave them the painting.
I know that we're loved here. You know, they really appreciate what we do. Because, you know, they can do anything they want here, but they choose to honor us with pictures and drawings and paintings and all kinds of art, and it's amazing.
Thank you. I have no artistic skill at all, and just to see what they were doing is very, very, very nice.
So you couldn't do this?
No, not at all. Not at all.
In Lexington, Caitlin Setner, WKYT.
That is a very kind gesture. Lexington police plan to hang up their new painting at the police departments.
Some good exercise for a good cause. Like dozens of workers at the Fayette County Detention Center were doing this afternoon.
And then more than 1,000 University of Kentucky students will have brand new rooms to move into when they return to campus later this month.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Fayette County Detention Center employees are using push-ups to bring awareness to a very serious issue.
Yeah, this afternoon, many of them did 22 push-ups. That number is significant because studies indicate on average 22 veterans commit suicide every day in this country. The organizer of the jail's 22 push-up challenge, who is a former Marine, says it's the least the jail can do to help.
These veterans are my brothers and sisters, and I know what they're going through, and I know that they need help, and I know that the help's out there. We just got to get them aware on how to treat these veterans.
Haley also says he hopes this challenge will drop the suicide rate among veterans to 0.
You've probably driven past these. 2 new residence halls at the University of Kentucky are on target to open next week. Workers are still putting the finishing touches, though, on the new Holmes Hall and Boyd Hall at the corner of South Limestone and Avenue of Champions. Each of these residence halls is 7 stories and combined will house more than 1,000 students. University leaders say they cost $84 million to build, and they're part of a larger plan to overhaul housing across campus. A community open house will be held next Tuesday, and the first students are expected to move in on August 13th.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
And it is back to school time across the Bluegrass State. Hard as that is to believe, yeah, we're heading back to school in the coming days. Some of us are already back in there. Let's check out what's going on right now weather-wise across the region. For one of those last remaining days of summer vacation for a few of you, we've had some on and off showers and thunderstorms into central and eastern Kentucky. West side of town, out at the airport, cooler than the east side of town, where we had rain on the west side, not so much here at the station, with a lot of mid and upper 80s on the east side, near 80 out at the airport. What we're looking at now in your Defender radar network, showers and thunderstorms kind of scattered about the region. Look what's just going up into Lexington again. Another lone little shower that is popping up just to the north of the downtown area. Where we had some rain earlier, south side of Lexington, better than a ½ inch of rain. That is weakening now into sections of Jessamine County over into Woodford County. A little light rain action lining up here on Interstate 75 just to the south of Richmond, campus of EKU, Richmond, you get the idea. South of the campus here, that'll be hustling and bustling over the next few weeks. We're seeing some of those raindrops that extend to the south into Berea as well. First little lightning strike just showing up on top of Estill County as of now. Estill County, watch the creeks and the streams. This little thunderstorm is not moving. So it's going to put down some very heavy rains across parts of Estill County. Had very heavy rains earlier, Beattyville down to Boonville. That is kind of split, and one lone little shower to the northeast of Manchester, putting down some heavy downpours too. Western Kentucky, there's a spin out here. That's a little weak area of low pressure that is going to roll to the east across the Bluegrass State into the day on Thursday. While anyone technically can see some showers and storms tomorrow that put down enough rain to cause some local high water issues, I'm trying to pinpoint here who has the best chance of at least picking up on some minor stream and or street flooding. That would be the area I've painted in red, south of 64. But that doesn't mean north of 64 you should totally let your guard down. Hour by hour forecast has a model that has the overall theme right. I think it's underdone with the amount of showers and storms that we're seeing tomorrow, but it's got that little area of low pressure right on top of the region through early Friday morning. And that also eastern Kentucky may be just exiting Friday morning to produce some more showers and storms. Then look what happens Friday night into Saturday. Cold front drops in from the north, and you know what that means? Showers and thunderstorms. The slower that front is, the stormier your Saturday will be. We want to get that storm or that cold front to move to our south early in the weekend. If it checks up right on top of Kentucky, forget about it. Some more heavy rains would be a possibility. That same model we were looking at, it is trying to pick out who gets what. Just know that over the next couple of days, anyone is going to be fair game for a shower or thunderstorm that can produce a quick inch or two and some at least minor stream or street flooding. And that carries us into Friday. Friday, it's not going to be all day. It'll be steamy outside of any thunderstorm. Saturday, a little stormier on the models this evening than what I was thinking earlier in the day. I'll keep that small chance on Sunday, but I'll also go with mainly dry. Check back with me tomorrow. I reserve the right to change.
This is pretty challenging, isn't it? I mean,
it is, because you get these thunderstorms that are like today. They're kind of here, they're kind of there, and then in between, not a whole lot showing up.
Yeah. Well, you're doing the best you can.
We got it. We got it covered one way or the other.
There you go.
We'll fake it if we don't. All right?
Oh, no.
No, you won't.
You're good.
Carl Towns came a long way in one season here at Kentucky.
Well, he really did. He talked about that today, giving credit to guess who? John Calipari. And Madison Central will play fast, and hopefully that'll lead to a lot of victories in the coming season. That's next on 27 Teams in 27 Days. Former Wildcat Carl Anthony Towns back on the UK campus today, helping out at one of John Calipari's camps. The NBA's Rookie of the Year says money and fame hasn't changed him, and he hopes someday to be the best player on the planet. Towns says it all started with Calipari, who gives players a chance to reach their goals.
I don't think I need to tell you guys how good he is at putting players in the NBA. If you want to walk into Joe Kraft gym, I think you'll see that. You know, that's a fact that no one has to check. That's just a given. So there's no variables when it comes to his ability to make our dreams and aspirations come true. Right, all I worried about when I was in college was making sure that we won as many games as possible and beat as many teams as possible by a lot of points.
Tonight on 27 Teams in 27 Days, we continue our high school previews in 6A. Madison Central thinks they've turned a corner. As Brian Milam tells us, the Indians think the sky's the limit.
Madison Central feels as if they could be on the verge of something special all over the field.
We have very good athletes, and we want to be speed and explosive. That's exactly the type of football that we want to play. We also want to have the ability to go power when we need to.
We're trying to make it fast-paced this year, so I think if we can wear the defense out, we'll have the advantage there and get a great defense on the field, and we'll hopefully win a lot of ball games this year.
I think we're going to see a little bit of everything. We play almost all the Lexington schools, and you never know what's going to come out of there, but our defense is very versatile. We're very prepared for pass or run no matter what's thrown at us. I think we're going to be set.
The Tribe of Richmond did graduate its top 2 rushers from last year and was 60-40 run to pass. Senior QB Zach Harden wants to chuck the pigskin all over the place, but he also has Jabari Hughley behind him.
I like to pass the ball, and I'll just sling it anywhere you want me to.
The running game is pretty much how we left off last year. It hasn't dropped any bit, and it's kind of picked up in some places too. But it's more of the ability to make plays anywhere across the ball, even with the pass game and run game. We're balanced either way.
Madison Central begins year number 3 under Mark Centers, and the Indians have improved each season from 3-8 to 6-5, and it appears everything is going in the right direction this season.
I've seen improvement throughout the years. It's gotten a lot better this year, right where it needs to be.
You know, I'll take our guys against anybody. I don't want to go to battle with anybody else. I'll take our guys any night.
For 27 teams in 27 days, I'm Brian Milo.
Thank you, Brian. We're at 31 days and counting until the start of the UK season. Tonight, 31, the number worn by running back Damon Hood and Bill Arnsparger, who later was a head coach in college and in the NFL. And back in 1951, UK snapped Oklahoma's 31-game winning streak, the Cats beating the Sooners in the Sugar Bowl 13-7. For all the Countdown Day info, click on WKYT.com. Wildcats report for practice tomorrow. Sam, Amber.
Exciting time. Final check of your First Alert forecast is next.
And then on the CBS Evening News, fending off phone scams, how a new app can prevent robocalls. See some pesky clouds out there, some nuisance rain hanging around for folks.
We're getting those right now, and another one popping up into Lexington. Look at that on the north side of town. That is getting into the downtown area. That may actually impact us here on Winchester Road and Hamburg Pavilion here very shortly. Some additional heavy rain producing showers and thunderstorms into southern Madison County and especially Estill County, where radar is estimating greater than 1 inch to 1.5 inches of rain in the past hour.
That's a good example in Lexington, isn't it? Where it just hits one specific area, small.
Some areas will get not a drop.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you back here at 11.